I'm here this morning just to do a brief introduction of Project Keystone and to let you know where we're at as far as the Lebanon County team that is working with the state to implement this program. Pennsylvania's Crisis Counseling Program, which is funded by a grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration in response to Tropical Storm Lee. The grant is managed through the Department of Public Welfare, and Lebanon County, through our Disaster Crisis Outreach and Referral team, was asked to participate in this grant process. But because of the preliminary damage assessment that FEMA made of Lebanon County damage as a result of the tropical storm, we did not qualify as a standalone county. We had to join in a regional plan to be able to access the funds for this crisis counseling program. So we're actually in a region that contains 10 counties, including Lebanon County, and for this part of the crisis counseling program, we are working for a company called Synergy Systems Group out of Danville. They are the one that the state contracted with to handle what they're calling Region 2, which is pretty much the central part of the state, from Lebanon County in the south all the way up to Bradford County and a couple of counties off to the side of that track. The FEMA Crisis Counseling Program consists of 3 elements. The first is the crisis counseling that was provided at the Disaster Recovery Center. As a result of the grant that we applied for, we're now eligible for the second 2 phases of the crisis counseling program, which is the Intermediate Services Program and the Regular Services Program. We're in the Immediate Services Program right now, and what we're doing is we have a team of 4. Synergy Group has hired a team of 4 crisis counselors and myself as a supervisor to basically provide the program here in Lebanon County. All 5 of us are Lebanon County residents, which is one of the things that I basically insisted upon when they started talking about this, was that we use Lebanon County people who are familiar with the resources and can go out and talk to the people in the county. Part of cultural competence. Well, the reason that I say that is they brought, the people from FEMA came from all over the country, and they did not understand that there were areas in Lebanon County that were affected by the flooding, but the majority of our damage was caused by the heavy rains causing flooding in basements, water getting into the basements, and actually water coming in through the roofs and stuff. And when they did their preliminary damage assessment, they didn't take all that into consideration. But our objective is to provide counseling and support services in a variety of formats, including door-to-door canvassing, educational workshops and material distribution, and individual, family, and group counseling to help survivors deal with the emotional and psychological effects of the disaster. We will have identification cards, and eventually we will have shirts, and we'll have badges on the shirts so people will know who we are when we come out into town. What we're basically focusing on right now is notifying the townships and municipalities that we are available and we can come out and provide services. There's no eligibility requirement for this program. Even if they didn't register with FEMA, the whole concept here is that we're looking at anybody that is a survivor of any of the disaster parts of Tropical Storm Lee. So it's open to all Lebanon County residents, and our goal is to provide support, education, and linkage to resources that will help the Lebanon County residents recover from the disaster and build resiliency in dealing with the outcomes of the disaster, as well as helping them to prepare for future disasters. Probably the first 30 days, people are focused on the physical damage to the property, and then after that's when they start dealing with the emotional and the psychological. Unless they had to evacuate, or there was somebody that was injured, or somebody, like the one family lost the head of the household. Those kind of things are where crisis counseling would have been great to have out on the ground at that point in time. We had over 3,000 people go through the DRC, And out of that, for the crisis counseling, we probably only we saw about 125 people at the crisis counseling table that actually came and stopped and talked. And out of that, there was probably 10 people that just really needed some follow-up service. And what we did in that case is we connected them either with crisis intervention or with a provider, a mental health provider, to make sure that they were trying to get the services that they needed.